Did she just say that, weak. Randy?
I'm
trying to figure out if we're going to cancel her.
Yeah, we might.
Welcome to Cue the Mic. I'm Darren Worth.
And I am Randy Twyford.
And I'm Emma Derflinger, and this is episode 52.
52.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's damn near a year.
Yeah, we'll be at a year, episode 54. So I think the episode that comes out April 29th will be our 1 year, the week of our 1 year.
Huh.
So we're
I'm
close.
glad we got somebody on top of this kind of stuff, Darren. Because
shit
on.
Randy, what do you think? Should we go get tattoos for the anniversary?
I think we should.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck
Just
no.
live a
I
little.
got 2 tattoos, and that's all that's going to the box.
Emma's like, you're such a dick.
I didn't even say that about the tattoo. I said that about something else. But yeah, you guys just need to live a little.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
Live. I'm not going to die from ink poisoning, so yes, I am going to live a little.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, you're so dramatic.
You know the
I have 10
complications that
tattoos,
can
and
happen.
I've never even gotten a baby
10
infection.
tattoos?
You'll be fine.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't remember our
Holy
conversation when you used to work for me, Emma? Don't ever bitch about being broke to me when you got 10 tattoos.
I haven't.
How much does a tattoo cost,
fine.
Randy? Emma won't tell me.
These I got
Depends on the size.
These I got were $250 a piece.
So you got $500.
And I think I got a good deal.
So $250 a piece. That's $2,500.
And
Emma.
I think I got a good deal on them.
And Emma's probably a lot more than
not
that.
all mine. No. Most of my tattoos, I think I have 3 tattoos, so we're only $40 each.
Yeah, but are they this
were
big?
they done very well? I don't know. No, they're little. My shoulder was a little hefty, but
How much?
I saved for that. I'm not going to tell you.
$750.
$750? No, lower than that.
I know where he's going with this.
I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play guessing. I'm a tattoo free guy. I don't get the. I don't get the. I think you ought to start doing prison tattoos where you do them yourself.
Stick and pokes.
I know. You were going through your midlife crisis.
Put on our forehead.
I know. Yeah.
What is wrong? No. That's so...
And tears coming down your
0
cheeks.
to 100. Jeez.
The only guy it looks cool on is Jelly Roll.
I agree. I would agree with you. I agree 100%.
I don't know.
Cool
Post
dude.
Malone's tattoos are pretty cool. I like his.
I don't even know who Post Malone is.
He's like actually covered
either.
in tattoos, though. You do too. You both do.
I'm just dumb
Is
as
he a
post,
singer?
But no, I don't know Post Malone.
Is he a singer? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See.
So
Yeah.
anyway, what do you
But
got
I
doing
think
the
just
life?
a little microphone.
No.
Just a little microphone, just like our little logo. It would be so cute. We can all get a matching in the same spot.
Yeah. Why don't you just get 2
It'd be
of
so
them?
adorable.
Get mine.
Yeah. Get mine too.
Lame.
So what's new in the world of Darren Worth?
Well, just got back from the sunny state of Florida.
Right.
Entertaining the grandkids for 7 days.
Sure.
That's always fun. Family time.
The grandkids, I mean, there's, Griffin's 4.5.
That's crazy.
And Henley, she's like 20 months or whatever. And I tell you, they were absolute angels. I never once saw their mom or dad or Mimi raise their voice at the kids the entire time. Now, last year it was just a massacre with Griffin. He was 3, but he might as well have been 2. He was just in trouble the entire time. This time, I never heard him raise a voice. But what has changed, and Griffin's always been this gobbly, he loves to sing. He sings all the time. He's just a performer, right? And he likes to talk. Well, now we have Henley Grace, that now she's blah, blah, blah. So 7 days from sunup to sundown, there was never silence ever. Ever. I mean, Griffin, when he gets in the car, that little shit is the smartest kid. And I know people say, I got the smartest grandkid. I have the smartest grandkid. When he gets in the car, he wants to know exactly what street he's on. Well, we're turning on Chiquita Boulevard. We're turning on Cape Coral Parkway. We're doing, what, are we taking a left now, Papa? Well, is that north or is that south, Papa? Papa, everything's
Really?
Papa this, Mimi this, Papa this. And so then the next time I get in the car, so Griffin and I, he's old enough now that, he's not pissing his pants and stuff. So now he goes to the grocery store with me every day. Right? Which is kind of I throw him in the car seat. Don't think we just had a little bump seat for him, but I'm not sure I strapped him in right, but we weren't going far, so it didn't matter.
Right.
But we go to the grocery store, and I mean, that kid just, as we pulled out, Papa, we're turning on Chiquita Boulevard. Hey, Papa, we're turning left we're going north on Cape Coral Parkway, or west on Cape Coral Parkway.
So you just have to tell him once, and that's it.
Just have to tell him once. And so I'm like, hey, Griffin, where are you at counting? And so he starts counting for me, and and he gets up and he starts to struggle after 150. But then Henley can
150?
Henley's 20 months old, and she can count to 10 by herself. I mean, it's crazy. Griffin can read books by himself. And I'm like, where is this kid come from? I mean, but he studies, he just loves to read, he's an entertainer. But it was a fun week, but I tell you what, you've never experienced silence until you drop them kids off at the airport.
Oh, I bet.
And when they got dropped off at the airport, Sherry and I looked at each other and never said a word to each other for a day and a half. I mean, it was just, there was a certain point, and it was driving kind of Sherry crazy a little bit. And she's like, okay, I'm sneaking. I'm going to go to the front driveway and read a book. Okay. Because she likes to read a lot of books. Well, of course, you can't read a book when there's all that commotion in the background. But we cooked a lot of things. Griffin loves to cook. He loves to do everything except for he used to like to crack eggs, but he doesn't like to crack eggs anymore because he doesn't like to get his hands dirty. So no matter if he's eating or prepping something, man, he's got to be near that faucet. He wants to wash his hands after every single thing he does.
Well,
he does not like dirt on his fingers or food on his fingers, man. But we had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Good.
But then we came back to, we left 85-degree weather and came back to 85-degree weather. So
yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Summer's getting closer.
So yeah, overall good week. Didn't accomplish anything. Didn't work at all until Friday after they left. Then I got a half a day of working on Friday before they left. But other than that, I had no chance to open my computer at all. I kind of checked emails.
I bet
that's good.
But, yeah. I don't like that feeling. I like to spend my time working. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not one that requires.
It's probably good for you, though.
I'm not one of those guys that requires a lot of getaway time, because my getaway time is kind of studying and the business and studying stuff. So I didn't get a lot.
Staying on top of things. Staying on top of things. I
felt like I wasn't on top of things, but I feel like I'm back now.
Good.
Spent some time last night.
What else you got going on?
Was tired. I see pork steaks are starting to rule the world, Randy. People listened to the podcast and saw your whole instructional video, and I'm seeing a lot of pork steaks popping up.
Really?
I don't think.
Good deal.
Yeah. On the people are tagging me in post and sending me stuff about pork steaks. And the only thing I would say is every one that I've seen, they're not cutting it. They're buying store-bought ones, and they're not cutting them thick enough. You got to get to that butcher. You need those an inch thick. You need them. Otherwise they dry out.
3/4 to an inch thick. Yeah. If you want
I
to
don't think I've ever had a pork steak.
You've never had a pork steak? You have a grill? No. Your brother has a smoker. Your brother has a smoker.
Yes, he does.
Has he ever done pork steaks?
He's moving to Des Moines. I don't think so.
Huh.
But I'll put it on his list.
Put it on his list.
Maybe.
Go back, watch some instructional videos. Of course, Randy.
Russ Twyford BBQ on YouTube. We got it out there.
Oh yeah.
Or send me a message and I'll give you the process.
Yeah,
because I learned from the
That's
master.
fair too.
it's pretty damn simple.
Or
It's
just
pretty,
text the master.
and they're pretty good.
So anyway,
And the
so then last night,
And the
what?
And the thing of it is, they're reasonable priced.
Oh,
Reasonable.
that's good.
Yeah, you talk about reasonable priced. So I was at the store yesterday, and for some reason, I woke up yesterday morning with chicken hindquarters on my mind, and I have no idea why. But I wanted old school grilled chicken hindquarters, kind of some kind of crispy skin and whatever. And so I got home, I don't know, a restaurant. It must have been about 2:00, and I stopped by the Fairway store and I bought 4 decent size, just medium size chicken hindquarters. And I like to brine my chicken for 4 hours if I can. I only got a chance to brine it for about 2.5 hours, but I just do a simple salt brine, cup of salt and a gallon of water. I did a half a cup of salt actually and 2 quarts of water. I don't put any sugar in my brine. I don't know why, I just don't. But I put them chicken hindquarters in that brine, and then I was going to do the Mac grill, and then I'm like, maybe I'll fire up the Weber. I'm like, shit, I'm going to cook on the Gateway drum. I got a little 30-gallon Gateway drum, and I never cook on that at home. So I flipped that baby out and filled her full of charcoal and ran her up to about 350 degrees, and I put a little sweet bunny on those chicken hindquarters, just threw them on there, and every 10 minutes I go back out and I just kind of spin them around a couple times, and I flipped them over and just kind of played around. I don't know, it must take 45 minutes to cook them, but I didn't sauce them. I didn't do anything. I took them out.
Oh, really?
I threw them in I actually lit up the Mac just so I could use the holding oven on the Mac, but I held them in the holding oven. Then I did some balsamic Brussels sprouts. I took balsamic dressing and marinated Brussels sprouts, and I grilled those off right quick. And then I did my famous grilled sweet potatoes that I love so much, that Sherry loves so much. We both love. And so did that, had a fine meal. I ate 3 of them chicken hindquarters last night. I was
my God.
But the thing about it is that whole meal, right? The chicken hindquarters, 4 of them, $5.37.
There you go.
$5, and that would feed a family of 4. And it's just
yeah, that's not bad.
And people are probably asking, what the hell's a hindquarter? It's really just the leg and the thigh attached. But
let me ask you this:
I just love the way they cook up. Yeah.
Do you think that brine is necessary?
On a hindquarter, probably not as necessary, but I'm just big on. I am big on brining. Even my pork steak, I like to brine them pork steaks for 4 hours. I think it just makes a huge amount of difference in the juiciness of that end product.
Okay.
And the reason I started that was, you remember back in the day, Smithfield had all their extra tender pork butts and stuff, and they still do some of that in certain parts of the country. But Tim Shear had bought some extra tender pork butts and had them cut into pork steaks for the World Food Championship. That was back in, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, we had to turn in pork. And so that's back when the World Food Championship, you actually cook barbecue. Well, I made the finals in the World Food Championship. So I said, I'm cooking pork steaks. And I cooked those pork steaks. I actually cooked them in the IBCA contest. Sorry. And I'm like, I'm cooking, because you had to cook chicken, pork, and brisket and ribs, I think, in the IBCA. And I'm like, I'm going to turn in pork steaks. And they're like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try that. And so I went to the reps and I said, hey, is this legal? Because it's a typical, I don't want to get disqualified. Like, we've never heard of that. But if they're all about the same size, sure, legal. Well, I ended up getting 5th. And all my buddies from Texas just went, well, hell, now you look, there's all kinds of guys in IBCA cooking pork steaks.
Really?
But that injected pork butt, and I'm sure you could do the same thing. Hormel has an injected one. Cutting a pork steak out of that injected butt is just crazy good. But now I just cut them out of collars. That's what I do. Cut the pork sticks out of collars, and then I brine them. But I love brining my pork and chicken. I mean, 4 hours in that simple 1 cup to 1 gallon ratio. Now a lot of times I don't have a chance to do that at night because I'm not home. I want to eat at 4:30 or 5 o'clock because I'm old.
Right.
So that means, or if I'm going to do it, I got to run home at noon, throw them in the brine.
Right.
So it's ready to go.
But not a high complex brine or anything.
No, you can put whatever you want in it, but really salt is what's going to do the work.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So that
anyway,
talk about having an expensive meal, there's as you said, for a family of 4, you could have a heck of a good meal right there for $5, your proteins.
Well, the protein, and then I had 2 sweet potatoes that I grilled off, cut them up and put I put sweet money on those 2, grilled them off, threw in a foil. 2 sweet potatoes cost me like $3. And I mean, they had pork belly on sale. They had a really nice looking compart pork butt at the Fairway. I walked out with 2 half pork bellies that were $2.99 a pound, a nice beautiful butt with a money muscle that I'll make into a competition butt. It was $23, and all the rest of it for $50. I had all that at the grocery store last night. I mean, I was thrifty. But more than likely, I didn't care what it cost because I was hungry for chicken hindquarters. And oh man, they're good. I may have them again tonight.
Did he sound good?
Yeah.
I didn't get a picture. Of it is, I didn't get an Insta picture. I was so fucking hungry. I'm like, yeah, fuck this picture.
But here's the thing of it is, Darren, you did some work instead of just going through the drive-through.
Yeah, I didn't go through no drive-through.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry for the background noise.
It's okay. Ahead.
Randy, do what you normally do.
Shut the fuck up! Hang on just a second.
Okay.
I've been sitting in that same office. I've been sitting on in the recliner right outside that office, and man, his wall is wavy.
Oh, good Lord! No,
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Emma, now you got to talk because Randy's gone.
I know. I was just thinking about how I've been saying this every week, but one day we'll just have like a really smooth episode again, from start to finish, no problems.
We have no problems.
It's not a problem.
Dog's not barking anymore. Did you hear that gunshot? Yeah, Randy's been through 12 dogs already this year.
That's not funny. Not even a funny joke. Oh, good Lord.
Get them settled down, Randy. You set them outside. Now we lost you.
Now he's going to have technical difficulties. There it is. Turn your mic back on.
There you go.
There you go.
Megan's here to do some prep work, so she came in the house, and that's what got them fired up, so she put them in crates. So we're in good shape.
Oh.
Just like Allstate, we're in good hands. Good hands,
we're in
like
good
Allstate.
hands.
Oh, jeez.
So anyway, had an interesting proposal that was presented to me this week. So I've got a local school that came to me that doesn't have food service, and they inquired about me providing lunch to 100 to 130 school kids 4 days a week for the entire school year. The problem is, and it's not necessarily a problem, but the problem is their budget's $5 a person. And most people would look at that and go, ooh, how's that work? If you're normally catering. But the more I talk to the gal, she's like, no, these are 5-year-old to 18-year-olds. And so she says, we're only looking for 2 to 3 ounces on a protein. We're only looking
Mhm.
for, 3 ounces on a vegetable. Just very, very
Mhm.
simplistic meals. So now I've got to get in and price. I think I could probably price everything out under $1, $1.25. Just for
Mhm.
what they
Could you
want.
really?
We have to deliver it. We have to deliver it to the school, and we're talking, half the time it's chicken nuggets, or it may be scrambled egg. They may do breakfast 2 or 3 times where they do French toast or something like that. Just
Right.
very simplistic meals, and no table service, no nothing. So I got to price it out and see where I can. But you think about that. You think, oh God, $5. But I'm like, yeah, $5 times 100 students. That's $500 a day times 4 days. That's $2,000 a week times how long does school go for, Emma? How many weeks does school?
Weeks? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is it?
I don't
36
know. I think
weeks
it
or 40
varies
weeks?
to district.
Right.
Yeah, I
But
think it
what's
varies
it?
per district. I don't know.
But is it 40 weeks? Let's just say it's 40.
Let's say 40 weeks.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? That's
fuck.
$80.
I
That's
don't know.
$80,000.
Mhm.
To the
Well, if I
bottom
can
line.
keep food, but if I can keep food cost at 20%, right?
Right.
So food cost at 20%, so we got 80,000 times, 80,000 times 0.8. That's 64,000 left that I have to spend on payroll. I've already got the building. I could run it out of the chicken restaurant. We're probably only gonna add. We could prep it in the middle of the day when we don't really have much going on anyway today. And then we just have somebody come in at 9:00 in the morning, throw the stuff up, heat it up, go deliver it. So we got a little bit of extra cost there, but I bet you we don't have an extra hour's worth of labor that's not ready on the payroll. So
Right.
I mean, potentially, it could be $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 that I could put to the bottom line on $5 of payroll. Now, shoot holes in that and tell me what's wrong with that. Appreciate.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's a good idea, and you're using your labor there at midday that is kind of a downtime anyway, and you're utilizing the chicken restaurant also to be able to utilize it more and more. And the only thing, that would be an opportunity to sit down with one of your suppliers and just sit down and say, okay, here's what I need. Give me your best price, and give me a price that's not going to fluctuate by $20, a case or whatever.
Yeah, we always, and we're not serving steak here, right? I mean, we're feeding kids,
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
so I wouldn't use my expensive homemade mac and cheese. I would probably buy a very generic Mrs. Jerry's mac and cheese, something like that. That 11 cents an ounce, and I'm going to send 3 ounces per person. And the reason they say 3 ounces is they said for the small kids we're only going to give them an ounce or two. For the bigger kids we might give them 4 ounces. But then if the kids see something they want on the menu, they can also order the entree for like $3.50. So let's say the entree is ham, and I serve 3 ounces of ham. If they want an extra 3 ounces of ham, they'd pay $3.50 for that. Or if they want an extra piece of lasagna, they'd pay $3.50. So and we can just feed whatever kids want to eat. They can have chicken nuggets a couple times, whatever. And so she sent me the menus that the guy that's doing it today. And it pretty much, I can guarantee this guy's going to Sam's Club every day and buying this shit and heating it up and taking it to him. Now he's doing it by himself, and he's also doing it in a restaurant's kitchen. He doesn't have his own place. So I'm like, this guy's probably going broke and doesn't even know it. But I see it in the old transportation world and quality management. It was always throughput. If you can throw more through the system. Now, if we don't have any capacity during the day and you got to hire additional people to do it, different story. But most people, 95% of the people would say $5, I'm out. And at first I was like $5, I'm out. But then I said, am I really out at $5? If my food cost can be 20%, am I really out?
Right.
At $5? So
and you've got the people.
Is it a pain in the ass? But if I can handle the prep during the day and every day, we always have time from 1 to 4. So from 1 to 4, guess what? We're prepping tomorrow's lunch. And then somebody normally here at 9:00 in the morning First thing they do is throw the oven on. Maybe they come in at 8:30. We turn the oven on. We heat up all the stuff in pans. And you just drop pans over there, and they serve it. So we got a little pan cost in there and stuff, but not much. You may have $10 in pans a day. But they said if the pans are halfway clean, they would wash them and return them.
This disposable pans?
Disposable pans. But they said sometimes, they get chicken nuggets in the pans, just got a little grease. They take them over and wash them and hand them back, and you can use them as that filter pan. So anyway, we'll see. Sure. I need to do some pricing. That's interesting. But probably the most exciting news of the week is that last night,
let's hear it.
Over a few beers, we inked the breakfast lunch restaurant deal.
Woo woo!
Wow!
Finally!
Wow! Yeah, finally got
Darren's
it done.
doing breakfast.
Well, yeah. At some point, we got lots of things to go through. We got a lot of things. We got a whole HVAC project, so we're buying the building. Beautiful building.
Mm-hmm.
We're buying the building, but we need to re-overhaul all the HVAC systems in it. So we're going to have to shut down the current restaurant, and it's probably going to be shut for 30, 60 days, something like that. We'll see the timing of when I can get this stuff done. It'll emerge. We're trying to name it.
That's my favorite part.
Your favorite part. Sherry's favorite part too, but
Sherry's the best at naming stuff.
I know.
Best.
We're trying to find stuff that kind of mixes in with like the Crafty Mac and the ornery chicken and Smoky D's.
Right.
I don't know how you describe that, but we're trying to figure out, she came up with a few things. First, we were going to call it the Kearney Cafe. Okay, which it's in the town of Kearney, but most people don't know that. And then when people look up on the website, to me, is Kearney with a K? Is it with a C? Is it CARNEY? Is it, it's just hard to find.
Isn't it CAR?
It is.
Yeah.
But
I don't think most people would
95% of the people, if you would ask, they would spell Kearney KEARNEY, like Kearney, Nebraska.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
Right?
I guess that's fair.
So that's the problem I have with Kearney Cafe. But, she came up with a couple that are okay. It's not, I'm still trying to do cafe, but I'm not only trying to say, hey, it's breakfast, it's a lunch deal too. But like she had the hen peck.
Yeah.
I'll run through just a few of them, see if anybody can pop out to you. These were the top ones. But she had the hen peck cafe, the nested egg cafe, the crabby egg cafe, the busted egg cafe, or the busted yolk. Right?
Okay.
She also had some. Hang on a second. Let me look up here because she also had some other ones that I didn't personally like, and I'm not sure I like any of those either. But she also had Fatty McPatty. Don't know where that came from. Flippin' Patties, Smashin' Patty, the Roost and Roast, Hen Picked Cafe, the Egg Cafe, the Hen House Cafe, the Easy Egg Cafe, the Crack of Dawn Cafe, Cracked Egg Cafe, All Cracked Up Cafe, Eggs and More Cafe, Egg Stop, Fully Executed Cafe, Break a Day Cafe, and Pecking Order Cafe. Now,
here's my
I also
only thing.
came up with, yeah, go ahead.
It sounds like to me you're only going to serve eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's my point.
And some of those sounded like burger places as well.
Right. So that's my point is it's a breakfast and lunch deal. I want people to know that it's either cafe, diner. What you got? You got it.
Right. I just chat GPT'd it, but I don't know if it's the vibe you'd want necessarily because it might
I did that
tie
last
in.
night too.
Because it might tie in the other ones too much because I used the Honor Chicken and the Crafty Mac as could tie this in. And it came up with crust. Did it give you Crusty Cluck Cafe? Or Crafty Cluck? Sorry. Crafty Cluck Cafe. I didn't hate that.
Crafty Cluck?
The Crafty Cluck.
It's kind of a cute name.
Crafty Cluck Cafe.
Right, and we were having a discussion last night. Is should we be, what should we do? Should we leave this thing open throughout the day and night? And what could we do at night with it? We've got equipment there. Should we be doing a dine-in?
Would you? Okay, I was gonna say, would you make it kind of like a pop-up situation? So every once a week, it either has the Ornery Chicken sit down or the Crafty Mac sit down.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
I don't know.
Because you talk about doing a pop-up, and I feel like that would just be the easiest route because it's your place.
Or I invite other people, like the guy at the golf course invited Randy in to do the pop-up. And I got all the systems. Give me your menu. I'll set it up, and I'll take 10% off the top, and I'll have one person there to kind of help you, and you're responsible for executing it.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
So support some other locals as well.
Startups, yeah. So I don't know.
I don't hate that idea.
I need to come up with the Crafty Cluck.
Crafty Cluck Cafe.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if it fits too close to the Crafty Mac.
That is where I was unsure.
Because Cluck could mean chicken. I just and part of it's home style
or egg
food. I mean. So think about that, because I need everybody's answer by tomorrow, because I got to get working on this thing, because I need to start.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff to do. I've started some menu development, and I'd like to kind of run some of this stuff by you and listeners and get some things, because I've got two schools of thought when it comes to menu. And if you talk to the current restaurant, one of their biggest problem is people order an item off the menu, but they don't want a certain ingredient in it. So they want a Denver omelet, no onion. They want this with not this, whatever. So my thinking is that you have these segments of your menu. So 70% of what we do is going to be 2 eggs and meat and hash browns and toast. Okay, that's going to be 70% of the business. Okay. Guaranteed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's guaranteed with any breakfast restaurant. Right? And then most of them have an eggs Benedict, right? And most of them have some sort of hash or a potato type bowl, skillet, whatever. Okay.
Right. I would agree.
And then you got your pancake waffle, if you're going to do pancake waffle, whatever. And then do you have, you could have a Mexican inspired, Hispanic inspired taco, chilaquiles, burritos, that type stuff. So you got all these segments. Well, my mind right now says that in every one of those segments, I should have 2 or 3, and sandwiches. I should have 2 or 3 specialty deals in each one. Okay, that are very unique. Well, don't even have to be very unique. Let's say, for instance, Eggs Benedict. I would serve an Eggs Benedict, and I guarantee if it comes out with Canadian bacon, it's not going to be 2 thin slices. It's going to be a portion of Canadian bacon.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so maybe the traditional Benedict is some thick sliced Canadian bacon, whether I cure that myself or whether or not. That's my other thing. Just traditional. But then maybe I have this desire to do homemade corned beef hash. So I want to brine my own corned beef and make my own hash. Well, a corned beef or a corned beef Benedict, some sort of corned beef Benedict. But let's say I got 2 or 3 specialty Benedicts. And then I have have it your way thing that, hey, you can have your choice of eggs, you can have your choice of vegetables, you can have your choice of sauce. So if you want to, oh, bless you. And another Benedict I thought was a redneck Benedict that would be a biscuit with sausage patty with eggs with sausage gravy over the top of it.
Oh, that's a great idea. I like that.
That's interesting.
So but then,
are you gonna have biscuits and gravy?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
And it's not going to come out of a can. and the biscuit's not going to come out of a box.
Yeah.
Right? That's my ultimate goal here is, and I've been working on the biscuit recipe that we'll do made from scratch biscuits, made from scratch cinnamon rolls every day.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of the touch. All our sausages will be made from scratch. I'm going to grind my own breakfast sausage. I've got that recipe damn near perfected. I'm going to grind my own chorizo. But then every one of those segments, I'm going to go back to the basic, here's my bread, here's my meat, here's my vegetables, here's my cheeses, here's my sauce, and that you can do in that segment, you can make it your way. Right? Yeah. So if you want a Benedict that has, sausage patty and hollandaise sauce and jalapenos and whatever, you can create that yourself, right? And without making it a $20 item. And so we like, hey, maybe it's an Anyway Cafe, right? We talked about, but that's been taken, and that's all the social medias are stolen from that and whatever. But my thinking is, so we do 2 or 3 specialty sandwiches, we do 2 or 3 specialty Benedicts, we do 2 or 3 specialty bowls or skillets where, hey, do you want tater tots? Do you want potatoes? Do you want hash browns as your base? Now pick your meat, pick your veggies, pick your cheese, pick your sauce, whatever. So those are really easy to build as you're working in the kitchen, because then you're like, okay, boom, 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 boom. You're not worried about, what's on a Denver omelet as a cook. You're just, it's telling you, here's what I want.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking that I would make the center of the menu kind of that choices, but then kind of reach out to the Benedict. And say, here, you make your own Benedict is choose your bread, right? And you want English muffin, or you want your Benedict on white toast? I don't care. Right. Or you want it on a biscuit, or you want whatever. And then we would just price it out accordingly. Each segment, but have one centralized thing that here's every ingredient.
I like that. And then that way, that eliminates the whole deal of somebody going, well, I want this, but I don't want that, but I take a little bit of this and that. You've got it already set up.
And reconstructing.
You've already got it over here, the basis. You tell us what you want, and we'll make it for you.
Right. Now, I talked to other people that said, no, I don't want to pick my own. I want to pick out what your signature item is.
Yeah, I think there should be a mixture, like a balance.
Well, but you've got your ones over here.
Because you still want some signature items. Yeah.
You've got your 2 or 3 things that are already, your Denver omelet. But if somebody wants to break it down, they can break it down over here on have it your way type deal.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things in the sandwich category that I'm trying to figure out is I'm just infatuated with this company called Egg Tuck. And I'm not sure if we've talked about Egg Tuck.
No.
Egg Tuck.
Egg Tuck or
Egg Tuck?
Tuck.
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 So Egg Tuck was in California. There's one in Chicago now. So it's a Korean breakfast sandwich. So a Korean breakfast sandwich is a very thick slice, like our handheld, thick slice of brioche bread, right? And then they cut the brioche bread, and then they put all kinds of ingredients. And then the final ingredient is they put soft scrambled eggs into it, which are just kind of over easy scrambled eggs, if you will. And then they put sauces over the top of it, a chipotle sauce or a ranch sauce, whatever. And so we played around with this in Florida last week. I found some unsliced brioche bread, and we buttered the bread and put it on the flat top. And like I made homemade sausage, and I put avocados and the eggs and all this stuff. And I mean, it's the sweetness of that brioche bread with the saltiness of everything else and the creaminess of the eggs. Made right now. When they make Egg Tuck, when they do theirs, they put it in a cardboard thing because the sumbitch will fall apart.
Yeah.
So they build it. But I'm just infatuated with this Korean egg sandwich.
Huh.
Yeah, it looks real good. Ooh, they even do.
Plus they do fries and
like
stuff.
Like a loaded tot and fry.
So they'll take tots or fries, and then they put these scrambled eggs over the top of it, and then they'll put bacon or whatever, and then put a sauce over the top of it.
They do a breakfast wrap, too. A little breakfast burrito.
Yeah, breakfast wraps are breakfast wraps.
I'm
breakfast wraps are fine. I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, the
God.
current restaurant has a bunch of burritos on it, but they really don't sell that. Oh, yeah.
What is that, Randy?
Oh, that looks good.
What's
The Royal West? I don't know what it has on
that's
it.
theirs?
Looks like a sausage patty. Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. I'm stalking their Instagram right now.
Huh. Well, so here's mine last week of
Oh, yeah.
but
Nice.
homemade sausage, ham, egg, whatever. Now
My
my
only-
eggs in there were the eggs weren't soft scrambled. Oh, and I put hash browns in mine too. I'm big on one of my favorite sandwiches of all
I just
time
don't-
is at a place called Dagwood's Cafe in Kansas City, and it's called the
Mhm.
Dagwood. And so it's
We've ate
Texas
there, haven't
toast
we?
with hash browns
think
on the
we've ate there.
bottom with bacon and ham and sausage and eggs and cheese on Texas toast. I may copy that one off. I'm trying to figure out if I can
Mhm.
do this Korean breakfast sandwich high
Mhm.
speed, because it just has a lot of things.
A lot of parts.
Are you so based off location? Because Kearney is essentially Ankeny. Are you gonna do anything like an avocado toast or anything like
Yes.
bougie and basic?
Well,
Okay.
yes,
I was making
and
sure.
to me, I was thinking about that last night. Sherry went to bed, and I kind of spent some time
Mhm.
reflecting. So I
Mhm.
absolutely love Rotella's wheat bread.
Mhm.
Okay, it's thick
Okay.
slice,
It's good.
it's whole grain bread,
Mhm.
and I just had the same. I went to Mullet's this morning. The crew over at Mullet's, I was asking a lot of questions, and they said,
Mhm.
"Hey, just come on back to the kitchen." So I went back and did a little kitchen tour stuff. It was kind
Nice.
of fun about how they cook hash browns, and hash browns are
Mhm.
my biggest fear about
Really?
well, I'm trying to figure out speed, and if you look at any way
Yeah.
that any YouTube or anything that cooks hash browns, they take 8 or 9 minutes. Well, I don't have 8 or 9 minutes to cook hash browns.
No, you don't.
I need to move fast, right? Because
That's interesting.
that's what I'm trying to. Because if you do move
Right, you
fast,
don't
then
want,
you can turn tables and whatever. So think
Right.
Smokey D's.
And you don't want them to not be crispy.
But right. So
They have to be crispy hash browns.
I've been right. And so what I found
People that
this
don't
morning,
serve crispy hash browns are criminals in my mind.
well, so get this. So I won't give away
Okay.
trade secrets this morning, but as I'm watching, they're cooking hash browns. So they're putting hash browns that are on the flat top. And a lot of times they're
Mhm.
pre-cooking them ahead of time just to kind of get them done.
Yeah.
But they're
that makes sense.
pre-cooking them. They're putting butter down on the grill, put the hash browns down, and then they
Mhm.
put butter over the top of it. And they only
Okay.
cook the hash brown on one side. And then they cut it and they flip it over. So it's crispy on the top, but it's soft on the bottom that's on the
See,
plate.
I don't like that as much.
People love
Because a
their
lot of
hash
places
browns.
do. Yo, yeah,
What?
hash browns are the best.
See,
I just like mine all crispy. You know who does hash browns the best?
No.
McDonald's. I said what I said. Yes, they do. Their hash browns are top tier. It's like a massive tater tot from heaven.
Did you just say that? Did she just
I'm
say
getting
that,
weak.
Randy?
I just
I'm trying to figure out if we're going to cancel her.
yeah, we might.
I
What
don't
the
I don't
fuck?
mind that either. I mean, if I served hash browns that way, that would be the most amazing thing, because then I could just drop it in their deep fryer in 2 minutes. I'm done. Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I make my own, because I could form my own. Right.
Mhm.
I could form my own and drop them. But I'm
Mhm.
not sure that's a hash brown to everybody.
Okay.
I would
Interesting
agree.
take.
Any people have different ideas of what not a fabricated, more of a flat, like the what you're thinking about, Darren. And then there's the ones that are almost greasy,
Yeah. Those. I mean, McDonald's is pretty greasy.
No, I mean
Those are
slick
just extra
greasy.
crispy. Oh, I get what you're saying. Got it.
Slick greasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I
Lots of
love hash browns. I
Lots
just like
of
potatoes.
lots of things. We're going to have about 2 weeks to get in here and do whatever we want to learn, even though the menu's going to change
You know
a lot.
who has
So
You know who has I really like their breakfast menu. if you needed to do some market research, is Truman's in East Village. Darren.
Really?
We go there. Team Derflinger goes there pretty often for breakfast. It's JJ's favorite place. They do breakfast pizzas. They have I had their avocado toast last time we were there, and it's one of the best I've ever had. And it was loaded, but it was delicious. It was
what do you?
It was your wheat bread.
What do you think should be on avocado toast?
See, okay, so I think you can have options because one of my favorite avocado toasts is from I think it's called Bergie's in Ames. It was just like a coffee shop. And they just did was it a bagel? I think it was a bagel. A bagel, avocado, goat cheese, and tomatoes with a little bit of I might have a little bit of seasoning, like everything seasoning, I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure it's just goat cheese and tomatoes. And I love that. It's one of my favorites. And then Truman's they did like the wheat bread with avocados, and then they did egg of your choice. So I got mine over easy with bacon bits. I think there might have been a sauce on it too, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And it was so good.
Well, and so I had one at a place in Phoenix called the Hash House, I think. And they had one that I thought, oh, this is going to be amazing. Come out, really thick sliced bread. But they put pickled onions and tomatoes on it, and it was like so overpowering. I just like avocado.
Yeah, the pickled
toast.
onions, you lose me.
I like avocado.
Yeah.
I like toast, but I like avocado that's spread out and smashed on the toast. I think.
Right.
Okay.
I would agree.
I'd like to put.
I also think it's just easier to eat that way.
I'd like to put jalapeno salt on top of it, which is my favorite way to eat avocado. But even though I think
agree.
everything bagel season would work.
I was going to say I do a lot of everything.
I've never
bagel
had everything.
Seasoning.
I've never had an everything bagel. I've never had that seasoning or a bagel like that in my life. So I need to try that. But then
it's good.
The seasoning is delicious.
Yeah. Should it have a protein, and should that protein be on the top? Because like my dream melt, if you will, is a piece of wheat, single piece of wheat toast, thick cut, avocado on it, with chorizo on it, with an over easy egg on top, with a slice of American cheese melted on the top.
Damn,
that's the big D.
Wow, that sounds good, Dan.
And you can pick whether it's chorizo or sausage or whatever.
Boom, you have a menu item. Put it on there. Signature.
Yeah, that sounds good. That melt.
Yeah,
real good.
And maybe we do melts. Maybe we do something that we can change. But
would this be okay? Again, based off location, is this going to be like an old school kind of like coffee or like diner-ish kind of breakfast place where you have your choices of drink or coffee, juices, sodas, water, whatever?
Yeah,
or are you gonna kind of play to your location a little bit and kind of give people like the mimosas, Bloody Marys, like bar kind of thing?
So
maybe not like a full bar, but
that's one issue that I'm looking into, because I'd like to do mimosas but then again, if I'm trying to offer an economical breakfast, because that's the way I roll, right?
Which makes sense,
right?
Yeah.
So if I'm offering an economical breakfast, do I want people sitting there drinking mimosas all weekend, or all day,
hanging out?
Right.
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
a good point.
Hanging out when
that makes
really
sense.
I'm about how the Smokey D's model. How do we turn that table? Because then I turn the table, I can run more people through it. I keep that lower price. So I think
I don't think you can go wrong either way.
And to get a liquor license, I mean, this thing has a patio. It's supposed to seat 50. It'll seat 75 once the fire marshal disappears. But then we got a patio that we're talking about putting a screened-in patio, a 3-season patio that would open up for the sunshine or close, whatever.
Sure.
But we got to figure out how to turn that kitchen. That kitchen's got to speed up immensely. So that's part of our challenge, designing equipment under I got an existing 10-foot hood I need to work under, so I'm trying to figure that out. We're trying to figure out the HVAC system. I got to get a name for it. We got to come up with something. We got to figure out something because I need to get all those websites secured and social media and all that stuff. Because as soon as she closes on April 30th, I need to put a sign up that says, "Boom, Sona coming soon ish." Right, and I love that. I saw that the other day. Instead of coming soon, somebody put coming soon ish, which I thought was a great. Don't expect it next week, right? Of course, we're going to try and move it as fast as we can. But well, yeah, and of course, it all happens right in the middle of everything. You know, right? You get graduation season and Pork Expo, and makes my head spin.
But that's what you like.
I do.
Yeah, I know you well enough. That's what you like.
So I got back to having a bunch of shit on my platter, which is great. I love it. But I welcome any input. People on this show, I get people every week that listen to stuff and shoot me ideas and things like that. And, you know, they don't necessarily post it out on social media, but they actually send me messages and whatever. Hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? I always like that. I always like that. You know, never cooked breakfast. I love to cook breakfast. It's my favorite food. It's my dream restaurant, actually, the breakfast restaurant. I just want to make sure I hit it where I can keep costs down, keep it pretty plain and basic, you know, like coffee. Okay, today they only do brewed coffee. Do I need a cappuccino machine? If so, who runs the cappuccino? No. Do I do iced coffee?
It depends.
I
think it depends on the approach you want to take. Do you want, because if you want to keep like that old school diner-ish feel, then no, you just do the brewed coffee, give them creamer. I
agree with you, Emma.
Because a lot of people do just like that vibe. Like, Team Durf, we love breakfast places. It's a big thing for us. So we like to mix it up. And we went to a place in Cedar Falls that had just opened, and their whole thing was like a retro diner. So it was just the brewed coffee, you know, good sized menu, but a lot of like old school kind of stuff. And it was delicious and amazing. And then, you know, Truman's is still kind of like, I mean, it's a sports bar. So it's got some pretty cool breakfast menu items, but then also it has a bar. So they have, you know, the mimosas, the Bloody Marys, or,
we eat there about once a month. Sherry and I go eat pizza there. That's one of our places for pizza. Yeah. We have 2 places in pizza in town that we go to. That's one of them. But
their breakfast is good.
The problem with their breakfast, they open at 8:00. Well, you know what? Breakfast is served between 6 and 7. Okay, breakfast is at 8:00, and I'm not.
8
brunching.
Is good for us.
I'm not brunching.
We're kind of a brunch gang most of the time.
Yeah, no, I guess kind of bougie. Your mom's bougie.
Okay. I'm trying to think of where else we go and I can't all of a sudden, but yeah, when or like in Cedar Falls, us kids will always do like a old school diner kind of family restaurant. And we love those. So I think I just think it kind of depends on what approach you want to take.
Well, I think that's what I want. I want kind of the old school diner. Yeah. I still want you to be able to come in and eat breakfast for $10.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I think you do just stick to the basics.
I think if I can
stay away from the
straight to the point.
Yeah.
Stay away from the cappuccino
if you wanted to modernize
machine and the mimosas and stuff, and stay the basic diner type stuff.
Yeah. If you wanted to modernize it, then you would have gone cappuccino machine, iced coffee, all that stuff. But
yeah. Now
I don't
think there's a wrong answer. I feel like everyone just likes breakfast.
Yeah,
your menu just has to be unique, regardless.
I want to grind my own coffee. I want to throw the beans in the top and have a grinder, and fresh grind coffee is just so much better.
Yes, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I agree 100%.
Since I'm a coffee snob.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's kind of that's what's happening. You know, we'll probably and at lunch we haven't even talked about lunch. You know, trying to figure out.
Are you gonna do a lunch?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a lunch. We're gonna do breakfast all day. That's my plan. Today they cut off breakfast at like 10:30 and start lunch. But then on the weekends it's only breakfast. Well, I want to do breakfast and lunch, but I'm trying to just here's a smash burger. Here's a kick-ass pork tenderloin. Here's a grinder, maybe an Italian sausage because I'm gonna make our own, and some salads. Just simplistic stuff, but I'm trying to keep it down to one of our a little backstory. As Sherry and I have talked about this, so we were over visiting my mom in Iowa City before we left for Florida, and Sherry had never been to Cane's. And we had about an hour. Mom was doing physical therapy. And so she's like, I'm like, hey, let's just go grab something quick for lunch because we hadn't eaten breakfast. Let's just grab something. And I was grumpy. Let's go have something because we were catching a flight at night and we weren't going to get in until midnight and whatever. So I was kind of getting hangry. So anyway, so we go over and I said, what do you want? You want steak and shake? Do you want Cane's? Well, I've never been to Cane's. Let's go to Cane's. And she went in there and she goes, this place is just chicken fingers and fries and coleslaw and garlic bread. And I said, yeah, 4 menu items, right? And so, and they're packed. I mean, this was after lunch. This was 1:30 or so. And it was.
They're busy all day.
But anyway, so we sit down and Sherry's like, you want my garlic bread? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, why? And I'm like, well, you might want to take a bite of it. She takes a bite of it and she's just like, holy shit. So
Texas
of course,
toast.
Well,
it's not garlic bread. It's not.
It has garlic salt.
There's
in
no.
it.
Does it? I can't taste it.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just butter.
But here's what I found out. Here's their bread.
What?
It's a Klosterman. You can't see it.
No, it's kind of pixelated, but
it's a Klosterman's sesame seeded barbecue bread. But the thing is that bread is so soft, but it does have garlic in the butter. But it's very light on the thing. But the whole thing is that bread is so fresh. They had racks of that bread.
Oh yeah,
and she was super impressed. She doesn't even care for the sauce. She doesn't like sauces like that. She didn't even try the sauce. Sherry's not a sauce gal. She'll eat a sweet chili sauce. Other than that,
what'd you think of the chicken?
She thought it was really good, and I thought it was decent too.
I think it's the most like the Honor chicken. I think theirs is double breaded. And it's like actually crispy. I had Chick-fil-A the other day for the first time in a long time, and I was like, it's good chicken. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like its breading as much as I liked the OCs or Cane's because I like the extra crunchy.
I like
double.
Cane's.
I like the double breaded.
You like Cane's? Fun
I love Cane's.
Fun fact about Chick-fil-A. So every morning when I'm in Florida, I take a 3-mile walk through the harbor and stuff. It's my exercise, right? And so on that walk, I listen to restaurant podcasts, right?
Okay.
Not
You're
ours,
making moves.
but I listen to podcasts.
It'd be weird if it was ours.
Right? No. But I listen to restaurant podcasts, and one of them just talks about the state of the industry. Do you want to take a guess on a Chick-fil-A location that's closed on Sundays? Average revenue per store across the country.
Wouldn't have any idea. Probably just blow you away.
It's it's got to be insanely high.
Yeah.
Well, so think about a traditional box store like that, non-McDonald's or whatever, is probably going to do $1 to $1.5 million out of that storefront.
Okay.
Right? $1 to $1.5 million. That's what a typical store will do like that. That's probably covers 90%.
Okay.
Some of the better ones do $2 million, whatever. $9.3 million per store is their average.
God. Oh, wow.
$9.3 million. And their ticket price is so much lower than anybody else's. Right? $9.3 million.
Like, how do you think that is? Like, obviously, their chicken is good. It's not like,
simplistic menu. Their chicken sandwich is only $5. Now, it's not a very big chicken sandwich.
That's fair.
Right? It's $5. It's not. And their customer service is over the top, out of this world.
Their customer service is pretty good.
I agree with that one, Darren.
Right?
I did the drive-through system, and the one I was in West Des Moines, and they've changed. So I don't know if you've noticed, but they don't even have a window anymore.
Yeah, right.
It's like, so you'll go through the line and then they'll greet you. They'll come through like a sliding door and greet you and be like, "Here, Emma, here's your order." And I'm like,
"Oh, they don't have the so the one in Ankeny, they're out damn near in the Walmart parking lot taking your order, which is good,
right? But
and it's not a fast line. I mean, you may wait 5, 6, 7 minutes in line.
Never been through the drive-thru there.
Yeah,
you haven't.
No, it's an experience. I think you should try it. It's actually an experience. They'll greet you at your car, like a person will greet you at your car
with an iPad, and they'll take what you want. If you don't, they'll have a menu right there that they can hold up the menu so you can see it, or they've got another menu that's sit there
on like a little laminated sheet. Yep.
Right.
And they'll take your order. Sometimes they'll just accept your payment right there, or you drive up, get in line, and they'll have another person that, like, to make sure that the line is in order. They'll be like, "Okay, are you this person? And is this your order?" to double check it. And then if you haven't paid yet, you'll pay there, like digitally. And then you get through the line, and then you get up to the door, essentially, and someone will come out and be like, "Okay, Emma, here's your food." And then you go. Like, it's a well-oiled machine. I'll give them that. I'm hardly ever like actually stopped. You know, because like obviously like I'm still in line, but you never feel like you actually stop. Like when you're at a window, you feel like you have to stop, and it's like a smooth system.
That sounds a lot like there's a 7 Brews here in town.
Yeah.
And that sounds like the kind of the system they have, where you pull in and somebody takes your order, and if you want to pay with digitally, they'll take your card there. You go on up, and somebody jumps out and says, "Here's your stuff," or there's where they pay cash. You pay.
I think that's where. Well, and we kind of talked about that a couple episodes ago, but I think that's how drive-thrus are adapting. It's not going to be. It'll be more of like an actual, like you drive through, I guess, essentially, instead of like parking and waiting at a window. Like you'll actually just like go continuously through a line.
Right.
I think it is very interesting. And their waffle fries
9 million.
Stupid good.
9 million.
9.3.
That's a lot of money.
Million.
That's a lot of money.
That's their industry average, which means some of them are probably at 12 million, some of them are probably 7 million.
Yeah.
9.3 million. I was blown away for a fast food to be that. That's like 5 times. And they just
only being open 6 days a
away.
week.
Yeah.
And so this place, yes.
But they know who their target audience is. They got, you can't go everybody loves fried chicken. Like it's just hard to miss on that.
Yep.
And they play the really heartfelt commercials. They really pull on the heartstrings.
Yeah,
with their commercials nowadays.
That, I would agree.
So like
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. It's fascinating. Do I think it might be overrated a little bit? Yeah. But I mean, it's not like they're not bad. I just know that like I like Cane's more. But also some people think Cane's is overrated. I think Honor Chicken's the best.
Well, so that was our conversation this morning.
I like Cane's.
That was our conversation this morning about the ornery chicken is, we introduce all these new sandwiches, right? To keep it fresh, whatever. And then you only sell 10 or 15 in 2 weeks, right? And so our conversation this morning is, do we really just pare down that menu and say, here, we serve chicken sandwiches and we got 3 or 4 specialty ones. We serve tenders, got 3 or 4, but then we change the sauce. We don't change the sauce, but we instead of introducing a specialty chicken sandwich, instead of introducing a specialty chicken, maybe we introduce a specialty sauce that you can put on a sandwich or on a wing or on a tender.
I don't know about that. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. I think the only problem with that plan of attack is that the Ornery Chicken has already been established as a, specialty chicken sandwiches kind of place. So like you throw out all of these new things, and
but they never.
If your menu
but we still
goes
sell
down,
the same. But we still sell the same thing.
But I feel like it's one of those things of where if you take the option away, it's similar to like when you do that with your fish at the Smoky D's or whatever. You take those options away, people are going to be like, what the heck? Like, that was my favorite. When you're like, well, then why didn't you order it? But then you just get that backlash. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the way. So if they could have it anyway, because you can still build your own sandwich.
Right.
Right. So
I
may take away the hot shot that doesn't sell that well.
Yeah.
But if people want the hot shot, they can still get a Nashville Hottie chicken sandwich, add pico de gallo on it. They can build it their way.
Right. Which, you do have that kind of built in. But would you give people like the instruction to do so? You know what I'm saying? Because like you could take it away and people will be like, well, I want this. And you say, well, you can build it yourself. But then they'll be like, I don't know how. Like, what do you mean? Kind of.
Well, think of the successful ones. Think of Chick-fil-A. Think of Cane's. What do they
even
do?
With you,
most successful places, what they have a very small menu, right?
Yeah.
They do.
Oh yeah.
They do.
I'm not saying
really
you're wrong.
Good.
I'm just I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just wondering if you would receive. I'm just saying, do you think you'd receive backlash because you've already established yourselves as?
I don't know.
One of those places. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. What are you gonna lose if you try it? And
I went 4 months without introducing a new chicken sandwich, and nobody said a word.
That's a good point. As long as you don't order your hottie.
They still the hottie, the chicken bacon ranch, the what's
the
ranch
home style?
The home style is crazy.
That's my sandwich.
And a 4-piece tender. A 4-piece tender. I mean, those are the ones that just like people want.
That's your basis. Your base.
I think we do need to. I think we need to come up with a mayo, ketchup, kind of a Cane's type sauce. We have the Yorker sauce, which is kind of a Chick-fil-A sauce, but a little different. Yeah. And we come up with a Cane's type sauce that's a mayonnaise, and then we're kind of
you have like a Cluckin' sauce.
Well, hey, I just called it that this morning.
Great minds think alike, Darren.
Yeah, now, you guys, I need this breakfast, and then I got to go because I got things I got to do.
Okay.
And we've already been on here for an hour and 6 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we just like talking to each other. I don't know what you want.
So let's go through the homework.
We started talking about menus.
The homework goes: go cook some chicken hindquarters and tag us in the post.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh, for our listeners.
Send pictures. For our
listeners. IQ the Mike podcast. Or IQ the Mike pod, sorry. IQ the Mike pod, tag us.
We need a name for the breakfast restaurant. We need your favorite
Sunnyside
breakfast
Cafe.
Sunnyside Cafe.
Just throwing it out.
Yeah, but
I think there's already one of those.
You got to go out and see if the website's taken. Yeah, I can't believe
it probably is. That's pretty. I just ChatGPT'd it. I just threw it out there.
I'm just trying to figure out how do we get it where it's a cafe, but they know it's breakfast, but you're saying it's some sort of lunch too.
Yeah, that's what bothers me about doing the whole egg thing. To me, you've just
but the egg is also chicken,
Doing the those others you were talking about. You've got breakfast, and that's it. I think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't.
But you do have breakfast all day.
Yeah, but
I do have.
It doesn't tell me you have lunch.
But you still want to sell the lunch,
right? But you could get but you just got to get them in the door.
Yeah,
you just need a name that'll get them in the door.
Yeah,
and then
I agree.
You can blow them away with your menu when they get there. Plug it. I've been hanging out with you guys too long. Anyway, what else is on the list?
That's it.
Is that it?
That's it. Randy wanted to talk about flat top cooking, but we don't have time.
Let's do that next week.
Let's
do that next week.
Yeah, we'll do an idea for next week. Let's talk about flat tops.
Okay, sounds good. Everyone will do their homework.
And not just haircuts.
And if you have any questions on flat tops, send them in to Emma, and we'll address them. Where do they send them to, Emma?
Okay. At Q the Mike Pod on all social media. And also you could comment on YouTube. I will see them there. At Q the Mike Podcast.
We'll address those next week.
Mm-hmm. We will.
And another segment I'd like to do is I'd like to show the top of my head, okay? Just as a reference. And we'll see how much hair I have left in about 2 months after I open this damn restaurant.
Okay, we'll keep that.
You're already a bald guy. Okay. Anyway, that was episode 52 of Q the Mic. We'll see you guys next week. Randy, do your little thing.
Done. Finished. Out of there.
Boom.
Boom.
We're out of here.
All right. Okay, we'll see you guys next week.